And you already mentioned, too, the leader of this class and sixth all-time in your yards created per attempt. That was Anthony McFarland. He's kind of going under the radar. He's only around 4 picks. So, like, you know, if he's this good at creating yards, how did he fall to round 4? And do you think that doesn't reflect the upside he has in Pittsburgh? What do you expect of this guy?
Yeah, look, I don't know Anthony McFarland. I'm definitely not in the know of like NFL scout types.
Yeah.
But I did read Bob McGinn's piece on The Athletic, and apparently there's some off the field concerns with
Gotcha.
McFarland, but the on the field concerns, there aren't any really.
Yeah.
I mean, McFarland is an explosive playmaker, man. Like, led the class in yards created per attempt, was pretty elusive on a missed tackle force per touch basis, and was very underutilized as a pass catcher. I mean, I think he only caught 16 or 17 balls last year, but I watched most of them, and every single time I came away with just like, the NFL has got to find a way to get this guy the ball as a pass catcher. And lo and behold, he goes to Pittsburgh, who doesn't have a good pass catching back. James Conner, I think, has been more of a volume dependent type player. In terms of his efficiency, if you look in some of the advanced stuff, like he's kind of a jag on the ground and doesn't, I mean, he's a good pass catcher, but not great. I think Anthony McFarland is immediately the most talented pass catching back on that team, and I don't think it's remotely close. And I mean, if some of the off the field concerns don't come to fruition and he goes in and does the right things in Pittsburgh, I think there's a chance he could usurp James Conner as the starter this year. Fourth round investment doesn't sound like a lot, but in today's NFL, where teams are devaluing backs, I think it's enough for him to at least get a shot at a sizable role where he's playing, at least 20 to 25% of the team snaps come week 1. And the upside is obviously pretty great in that offense with Big Ben.
I mean, they've been so reliant on a workhorse. I think entering last year, they hadn't had any running back finish below like RB6 in a league because they just rode their workhorses so much. And I mean, Connor I think he made it through 2 full games last year with about 25 different injuries and ailments. Yeah. So even if he could usurp him on talent alone, as you're suggesting, but he might not even need to rely on that because of the injury history there. So I think that's a name that's going really under the radar, especially after reading your article and those stats on him, the leader and the attempts. I was like, oh man, really, this guy's really got to be elevated. So interesting stuff to hear